Hey, this is meteorologist Stephen Abshire here for 5 News, and if you can smell it outside, there's something changing with the weather. We got a new pattern on the way as we wrap up this year. So those temperatures of yesterday, when we were in the teens for some areas, are on the way out because that cold air is gone. We are going to be seeing some much warmer air as we wrap up 2022, and even as we head into 2023. This pattern is going to be sticking around for a while. We can experience some much warmer temperatures. But as we move into the rest of this week, by Thursday, we can see on this map behind me, we're going to have temperatures get up into the 60s, could be some 70s, not only in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but also across much of the heart of the country. And this is a big change compared to where we were just a week ago come Thursday, because we had temperatures that were absolutely frigid. Remember, last week we had that big Arctic blast as that jet stream dropped really far low into the south, and we saw temperatures not only in the teens, not only in the single digits, but we had temperatures below zero with those afternoon temperatures here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley in the single digits and into the teens. It was absolutely frigid. But why was that? Why are we seeing such a big change only, 6 or 7 days apart? Well, it's because we have a big pattern change on the way as we move throughout the start of this week, and it's really going to stick around as we get later on into the end of this week. But taking a look at the setup that we had just a week ago when we had that big cold spell, well, the jet stream was taking a massive dive through the heart of this country. A big ridge was over the parts of western United States, and that means warm air for those areas. But as it took a dive, this trough really dug down into the heart of the country, and all this cold air that's normally in parts of the Siberia, parts of Canada, was able to just sink down into the heart of the country, and that's why we saw such cold air for the middle part of the country. And then as this moved off to the east, it also brought some really heavy snow for some areas and absolutely frigid conditions for the northeast. But that jet stream was responsible for bringing some of those cold airs, because you can see that jet stream just falls all the way right down to northwest Arkansas, grabbing all that cold air that's normally in parts of Canada and bringing it down to us. But what can we expect as we move into this week? Well, we're going to see completely the opposite. We're going to have a big trough over parts of the western United States. So all that cold air is in parts of the Rockies and parts of northern United States, but where we are, we're seeing that jet stream just bring warmer air our way. We're seeing all this warm air that's normally in parts of Texas, in parts of Mexico, in parts of the Gulf is getting brought up as that jet stream goes off towards the north, heading right overhead. So we're getting all these winds coming from the south, bringing much warmer air into our area, and these temperatures are at sometimes 20 to 25 degrees above average for this time of the year, which is normally in the 40s for a high temperature, and we could be breaking the 70s as we get into the River Valley. But it's not going to stick around only for the end of 2022. It's also going to be sticking around as we head into 2023. Much of the eastern half of the country is going to be expecting above average temperatures as we move into the start of the year, and that's because that pattern where we have that trough really digging over the western parts and then bringing all that warm air up from Mexico is going to stick around for at least the first 3 to 4 days of the new year. So we're going to expect temperatures here at home in the 50s and 60s as we break on to January into January 2023. Above average temperatures for much of the south as we get going. But taking a look what we can expect, at least for the end of this year, in terms of those temperatures, northwest Arkansas, we're going to be into the 50s on Wednesday, into the upper 60s by Thursday, and that's likely going to be our warmest day over the next 7 days as we get into Friday and Saturday, into the start of the weekend, and on New Year's Eve, we're going to be flirting with the 60s there. Taking a look at the River Valley, going to be into the 60s for tomorrow. 70s are possible as we get into Thursday. Friday is going to be into the 60s as well, and then Saturday, for the last day of the year, you couldn't ask for much nicer conditions. Yeah, maybe you're going to have a few light scattered showers in the morning, but temperatures in the 60s are going to feel great. As we get later on into the rest of this week and into the start of the year, we'll be breaking down what you can expect for January, but for now, it's going to be warm, at least for the first week or so.